Hi all. So the first part of our lecture is talking about wikis. So what is a wiki? A wiki is a collaborative, editable space where you can collect knowledge all together as a group, a couple of users, and update it on a frequent basis as much as you really want to. A good example is Wikipedia. We all know about Wikipedia. Is it a relevant source all the time? Not really. And that's the difference between, authoritative sources in education, and then you've got, the unauthoritative source. Wikis are contributory in nature. They're living documents, and not everything may actually be accurate. People work together to generate and maintain the ideas. This is something great as a professional development tool, or to build some knowledge for your students as a form of exercise. Now, there's social construction of knowledge. That is really the purpose of a wiki. It's not to be behavioralistic in nature and say, these shall do X, or, we have 2 plus 2 equals 4, there's a final formula. You need to make it evolve over time, and it really is a form of negotiation as a tool. It's something where groups can put their best efforts forward, and it's something where individuals can also contribute and have their voice heard. Now, wikis are usually used in the educational segment as a team or group building tool. And it's something that gives the students the opportunity to control their ideas, creativity, knowledge, and take ownership in something, to be proud of it. And that's why wikis are pretty nice to use in the classroom. Now, examples of education-oriented wikis include Wikispaces, PBWikis, you've got Twiki.org, Wikispot, and wikihow.com. Those are all educational friendly based wikis. Now, one of the things we need to ask ourselves is, what are the rules of of implementing a wiki? Now, first of all, you have to look at it from, how is the tool actually going to be implemented and sustained as a faculty member? You're constructing, this automated response. That's what you're really doing. You're constructing automated responses, which has to include creativity, it has to include publishing, and it has to show some level of competency. There has to be some form of teamwork together, but at the same time, you want to make sure there's, some kind of preservation of information, as well as the appropriate level of security, because you don't necessarily want the information to get out and be deemed inappropriate. And that's really one of the problems with any Web 2.0 tool is Web 2.0 tools are a form of viral communication. And viral communication, over time, can harm the educational experience or misguide the student. So, it really is about negotiating to agree upon the terms and understanding expectations. You need to set expectations if you're going to use a wiki, whether it's in the classroom environment for your students or faculty members. Now, let's talk about management of a wiki. There's a lot of project management as a faculty member you are responsible for if you are going to use a wiki as a tool for your students to collaborate. And I think that a lot of teachers don't have the time and the maintenance ability to go ahead and handle, so that's why wikis aren't necessarily used. But you need to understand that students are not as refined as a faculty member, and when you're going to make edits, you need to explain your edits, and that's where commentary fields and even working with the student offline is important. Wikis are not a cure-all for collaboration. They're an extension of collaboration. So, version control is really the big thing, and I think lesson planning and grade books and things like that, those are good examples of how a wiki can be used, because over time you can go ahead and build this knowledge repository. So, what are wiki opportunities in the classroom? Brainstorming. Bottom line, you can build a list and you can jot down notes, and at the end you have this collection of information and you can sort through it, and it's pretty organized, yet it's informal. Then there's building background knowledge, providing fundamental skills. Going back to my example about human resource manuals, those are documents that are building knowledge for an organization. It's very behavioralistic in nature. So if you think of Wikipedia, it provides a baseline of knowledge for a person, and it gives you a platform to explore beyond. Collective notebooks and collective study guides. If you're doing a long lesson plan and your students need notes, a wiki is a great resource for them to go ahead and have all the notes in one conglomeration. The problem is you're going to have to restrict the security and access. So that's something to consider. Meta language, it could be used as a glossary of keywords, things of that sort. When there's a lot of new terminology being introduced into the classroom space, you need to document it somewhere. And a wiki is a great format where you can document it, centralize it, and also make it searchable. You can also construct prior knowledge using a wiki. It's a great chronology tool. Finally, it's great for collaborative resource studies. It's great for peer assessment because you can see how peers reflect on other people's comments, and instead of having a red pen, a blue pen, or doing everything paper-based where you have to require offline communication or using something like Adobe Acrobat where you can do notes, students can see everybody's feedback, and it can be very empowering because students like to be criticized by their peers and improve upon themselves, and it's pretty powerful to get multiple viewpoints for the wiki experience. Finally, teachers can use it as a way to build curricula and maintain curricula over the long haul. And I think really that's where wikis have a place in the classroom. Now, like I've said multiple times, one of the biggest concerns is security. And, if your information is exposed to the open, it has to be relevant. When you're using the wiki, if it's self-constructed knowledge, great. Just make sure you cite yourself. If it's taking other people's information, you need to cite it within the wiki. There is no ends of your books. You need to cite it. That's it about our wiki discussion today. I think that those different techniques are ways that you can possibly explore. So one of the questions that I'm going to ask as part of the resources is find various wikis that can be used in education, and find wikis that you feel can contribute to your ability to enhance the classroom experience. Next lecture, blogs and vlogs.